So you want to know about tax sale delinquency auctions, right? How you bid and win great properties at bargain prices? Well, you've come to the right place because this is attorney Bob Diamond. I've been buying those auctions for many, many years. I've been helping bidders at those auctions, so I know all about it. I'm here to share with you. And be sure to stay on at the end because at the end, I'm going to give you a second way to make money at those auctions that doesn't involve ever putting in a bid. As a matter of fact, you can make more money than the person that buys it at the auction using my secret method that I'm going to tell you about at the end of this video. So let's get right into it. So what is a tax sale delinquency auction? That's where properties are sold because someone didn't pay the taxes. Typically, they've fallen 3 to 4 years behind in taxes. And so the county says, well, we're gonna have to sell the property because we gotta pay the firefighters, the police, we gotta fill the potholes, pick up the trash, all the things that a county has to do. So they will sell that property in auction, sell it right out from under somebody. And the bidding starts at, get this, just the past due taxes. Can you imagine getting a property for only 3 to 4 years worth of taxes? That's what can happen at these auctions if you're the bidder and you're the last one standing, because they start the bidding at literally $1 over the past due taxes. And usually these taxes are only 3 to 4 years past due, so that probably is 10 to 15% of the home value, even including penalties and interest. So you're talking about a $400,000 house, the bidding might be starting at $40,000 to $50,000. The last bidder standing, it's above the $40,000 or $50,000, gets the property. Can you imagine getting a $400,000 property for $40,001? Well, it's possible if you're the high bidder at one of those auctions because the county doesn't care about getting extra money over and above the taxes. All they care about is getting their tax money. So the minute that bidding exceeds the taxes that are due, whoever the last bidder is going to get that property, getting title to the property, and almost always free and clear of liens, even judgments, mortgages, and even the IRS gets wiped out if they have a lien on the property. So this is a no kidding big opportunity for you if you're there bidding. So the question is, well, how are you going to be there bidding? The first thing you're going to want to do is verify that your state is one where they hold tax deed sales. Because in some states, they don't sell the property. Instead, they sell a lien on the property called a tax lien. That's not what you want if you want to buy properties. A tax lien is a financial instrument that does carry a high interest rate, but that's not getting properties. And we're here to talk about getting properties today. So the first thing to do is check, does my state offer tax deeds? And I'm going to make that easy for you. I put a link down below to PDF that I produced that tells you which states offer tax deed sales and which states don't. And so just download that and look to see if your state is included. So let's assume that the state you want to invest in is a tax deed state. Okay, that's great. That's first step. Second step, you got to get a list. So how do you do that? Well, it's a simple Google search. I'll give you an example. If you were working in, say, DeKalb County, Georgia, and Georgia is a tax deed state, then you would do a search, which would be DeKalb County, Georgia tax sale list. So the name of the county, the state, and the words tax sale list. And that should bring up your tax sale list. And make sure that you're only dealing with actual government produced list. You do not want to buy from places that charge you to give you a list. Mostly not because they charge you, that's fine. But what I don't like is that often those lists get out of date because these lists are updated all the time. Because what happens is when a list is published, which is going to be about 45 to 60 days prior to the sale, people rush in and start paying off their taxes because they say, oh my gosh, they're selling my property on a certain date. I got to do something. They go to pawn shops and pawn things. They sell their car. They borrow money from friends and family. They do what they need to do to try to save their house. So from the time that list is first published, 45 to 60 days prior to the sale, until the date of the sale, you're going to see that list drop by probably 2/3. So you need to make sure that you're getting the latest list because as people pay their taxes, the government updates those lists and puts out an updated list. So you do not want to be dealing with a commercial list provider that pulled a list at the beginning but hasn't updated it since, and then you're looking at properties that are actually not going to be sold at that sale because as people catch up and pay their taxes, that property is removed from the tax sale. So you don't want to be doing that. So you get your list from the county and then you start looking through the list. And now we've got to reduce the size of that list because those lists tend to be very large, many more properties than you can actually check out prior to the sale. So how do you reduce the list? Step one is focus on areas that you're actually interested in. These lists are county-wide, so they're typically pretty large. So if you don't want something across the county, then skip that. Don't do any more due diligence on that property. So get your list and start looking to screen out the properties that are not in an area you're interested in. And the good thing is that usually these lists are organized by area because they're organized by actual little physical area in the county. So you'll be able to cross off whole sections. So what I want you to do after you do your electronic due diligence, you screen out the properties you don't want, you get the subset that you do want. About 5 days prior to the sale, pull the list again and look to see what's still left of the ones you're interested in. And for those, you've got to get in your car and go see the properties. The reason for this is you don't know the current condition. What's on Google Street View is not a picture they took yesterday. It may be a picture they took a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So you can't rely on that to spend your hard-earned money. So get out, go drive by the properties and check them out. See, is there any evidence of foundation damage? Like, for example, are the windows and doors sort of twisted a little bit, not square or rectangular? Are those angles twisted? If it is, that's a sign of a foundation problem. Do you see any signs of smoke damage? Meaning, look at the eaves. Do you see where it looks like smoke might have come out of one of the windows and stained the eaves? That's often the case because sometimes these properties are let go at tax sale because they've had a major loss like flood and fire, and the people can't afford to fix it, so they just give up and stop paying the taxes. So you need to be very careful. One time I drove up to a property, it looked beautiful. I was like, this is so nice. And I noticed a little flash of blue on the back side of the roof. It just blew up a little bit while I was there, and I thought, oh, what's that? And so I got out of my car, I walked around, and I could see from the side yard a little bit into the back, meaning I could see just from walking towards the side of the front yard, that there was a blue tarp on the back, and that the blue tarp was kind of blowing around and not attached anymore, and there was a hole in the roof. And I looked more carefully at the windows and I saw that there was soot damage, first of all, under the eaves and also on the ceiling. So that was a fire damaged property. I didn't want it at that point because fire damage is a lot of damage, especially when the firefighters put all the water in there. That adds to the fire, and it can really just make a property just where you'd want to scrape it clean off the lot. And you don't get much due diligence. You don't get an open house in these auctions. You don't get to check it out beforehand other than what you can see from the street. And when I look at the properties, I go knock on the door and see if someone's there because I want to know, if I buy this property, what am I dealing with? Is this a tenant that wants to keep renting? Is it an owner who is moving or doesn't want to move? What am I dealing with? Because before I put my hard-earned money down, I want to understand everything I can about that property. And these properties are sold without a warranty, without any guarantees of any kind, and you pay cash. There's no mortgage. You pay cash, and with no refunds, it's a serious investment, so take it seriously. So definitely check out the properties. Don't buy blindly. It's unwise. But that being said, there can be some amazing deals at these auctions. These properties literally can go for pennies on the dollar. So hopefully this is something that will really help you. Something will help you get some great bargain properties. I've gotten some great deals at tax sale, and I hope you do too. So I promised to tell you about a second way to make money at these sales. The second way to make money you're absolutely going to love. You can do something called overages. That's recovering extra money that's left over after the sale. No, it sounds weird, right? But often there's a lot of extra money left over that the former owner is able to claim. And all you have to do is get the list of properties, talk to the former owner, see if they want to work with you. And if they do, for a percentage, you go and get that money. Great business. You don't have to bid on properties. You don't have to look at properties. You don't have to worry about condition. Very simple, straightforward business, and a business that I love because you help people and you make great money. So to check out the Overages Business, click on the link down below. I put a link to my Intro to the Overages Business video. There in that video, you can learn all about overages, and if you want to move forward in the business, I offer education and a course on it. So it's a great business. I love it. I've pretty much switched from buying properties at the tax deed sale to doing the overages business because I love just making the clean cash money. So if you own a business that doesn't take a lot of money to start, that doesn't take a lot of money to run, and that you can make a lot of money and help a lot of people, overages could be perfect for you. Go check out the Intro to the Overages Business video. So this is Attorney Bob Diamond. Hope this is helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and definitely go check out that Intro to the Overages Business video.